We all know it, right? Some of the most powerful, most memorable learning happens outside the classroom. I mean, think about those incredible field trips, those travel experiences that just change everything. But for so many educators, that dream, it just slams into a wall, a really frustrating wall of problems that makes the whole thing feel completely impossible.
So let's be honest, what's really stopping you? When I asked that, I bet a whole list of roadblocks just flooded your mind. You're thinking about funding, logistics, all the paperwork, liability. I mean, it is a lot. But what if we could take each one of those barriers and just break it down, piece by piece? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do right now.
Okay, first up, the big one, the money problem. This is almost always the biggest hurdle, and for a really good reason. But you know what? The solution might actually be way simpler than you think.
And here's what really matters when we talk about money. It's not just about the school's budget. It's about equity. It's about making sure that every single student who wants to have this experience can. High costs create this huge barrier. And let's face it, big sales and car washes often just don't cut it.
So check out this really elegant solution. This isn't about chasing down some external grant. It's about smart program design. When you work with a tour provider, you can build this right into the trip structure. So imagine this. You've got 100 travelers ready to go. You simply add a small, almost unnoticeable fee, say just 25 bucks, to each person's total cost. And just like that, you've created your very own dedicated scholarship fund. And look at the impact of that. That small $25 fee multiplied by 100 people, boom, that's a $2,500 fund. That is a significant amount of money that you can now use to help students, to make sure that nobody gets left behind just because of the price tag. It's simple, it's integrated, and honestly, it just works. Okay, so we've got a great strategy for funding. Awesome. But what about the absolute chaos of just planning the thing? The logistics can feel like taking on a second full-time job. So let's talk about how to tame that logistical beast. And this right here, this is the logistical tangle. You've got to find buses, get all the right permissions, worry about insurance and liability, plan for emergencies, make sure everything is accessible for everyone. Wow. I mean, just looking at this list is exhausting, isn't it? Each one of these items is a huge project, a whole web of details that can totally consume your time and energy.
So, what's the answer to that tangled mess? It's actually beautifully simple. A strategic partnership. A qualified tour provider? Well, their entire job is to handle all of this. They've got the transportation connections, the insurance, the backup plans, and the expertise. So instead of you trying to juggle a dozen different problems, you have one point of contact, one solution. That's it.
All right, so we've tackled funding and we've tamed logistics, but the challenges don't always exist out there, do they? A whole other set of hurdles can pop up right inside your own school building. Everything from curriculum alignment to administrative red tape.
Let's just break these down one by one. You're worried about curriculum alignment? No problem. You map the state standards directly to the locations you're visiting. Struggling to find enough chaperones? Hey, build a small teacher stipend into the total trip cost, just like we did for the student scholarships. Time constraints feel impossible? You can strategically use school breaks or designated flex time. And that administrative process, a clear, step-by-step timeline keeps everyone organized and on track. See, every single problem has a practical, actionable solution.
So we've walked through 3 totally different kinds of problems, right? We had money, logistics, and those in-school issues. But you've probably noticed a theme here. The solutions all start to point in a very similar direction. It's not about fighting a dozen separate fires all by yourself. The key takeaway, the thread that ties all of this together, is this idea of a strategic partnership. It's all about shifting your mindset. You go from thinking, I have to figure all this out alone, to asking, who is the expert that can manage these complexities with me? A dedicated provider helps you take these overwhelming giant barriers and transform them into small, manageable, and totally achievable steps. So look, the barriers are absolutely real. No one is trying to deny that. They are tough. But as we've just seen, they are not unbeatable. Not by a long shot. And on the other side of those barriers, that's where the magic happens. The life-changing, perspective-shifting, truly transformative experiences that your students are going to remember for the rest of their lives. So really, the only question left is, what world are you going to unlock for them?